Welcome to the IVM Podcast Network.
TFG Football is an IVM production, and you can also check out their other awesome shows like the On Course Podcast, a show where they help you to tackle various questions related to abroad studies, like which university to choose or how to navigate the application process.
You're listening to TFG Football.
Hello everyone, welcome to a brand new episode of the TFG Indian Football Podcast. India is soaring high. BFC representing India, the only Indian club at the AFC Cup, have made it through the Inter-Zonal finals after beating April 25th. I just keep forgetting the date. April 25th Sports Club from North Korea.
The name, or what is it?
Is the same thing. The name or the date. the date is the name.
Imagine if every sort of person or football club was just named after the date they were born or established.
Yeah, well, let's not hope that ever happens.
Imagine Mohammedan would be called 15th August FC. I don't even remember what East Bengal would be called. I think it's some July FC.
Yeah, I hope that doesn't happen anywhere soon. Great news coming in. They kept a clean sheet. 0-0 was the score in the second leg of the Inter-Zonal semi-finals. And we did not get to see the match. And we could only follow some updates from Bengaluru FC's Twitter handle. And Chiranjit, great win for them. 3-0 on aggregate. Make it through without conceding any goals in the past 3 games.
So, first of all, I would start by saying that I had a really good breakfast. I had some.
How is it related to Bengaluru FC's win?
Because I just wanna say that I have eaten a lot since the morning, so I'm not gonna eat my words that much. I don't want to get overweight in the next few days. But yes, I was wrong. Everybody was wrong about Bengaluru FC. We were wrong to even think that the win came courtesy of the rain at home. Yeah, it helped. April 25th Sports Club were caught off guard. But you go to North Korea, you play a good team like that, one of the best teams in North Korea at home, and you get a 0-0 draw, you do your job and you get the result you need to get through. That is laudable. Okay, and it proves that the win at home was very well deserved. And remember, there was that Kim Sung-young guy who is the top scorer of the AFC Cup tournament so far.
Yeah.
Everybody was really intimidated by the kind of scoring power and form he was having coming into this fixture. But 2 matches he played, he couldn't score against Bengaluru FC. Nobody could score, and April 25th probably had one of the best goal scoring records in AFC Cup so far. Like, they had the best goal difference, and for 2 matches they could not score a single goal. That is no small feat. And this may be one of the best. I mean, you have to put the Johor Darul Ta'zim tie ahead of this because it was much more entertaining and spectacular. But in terms of grinding out and delivering a result against all odds, this has to be right up there. One of the best shows that Bengaluru FC have put up.
Yeah, I think the game was actually over when the second goal was scored in the first leg, because till then, both the teams did not look like as comfortable as they wanted to. But again, the second half of that first leg was totally one-sided, and April 25th did not look like any close to even trying to get the easiest game that they wanted to. So all in all, I think if you go to summarize, it's been a great campaign for the Bengaluru FC side, and also considering that the squad that they are playing with is almost totally different from the one that they reached the semi-final with. So not a bad win at all. Keeping a clean sheet again. Great news for that. Also, just something I was going through the match report from Bengaluru FC. It wasn't. Everything wasn't smooth for the team because their travel plans were actually delayed because they had to arrive a bit later because of the Foundation Day celebration in the country. And the second part, what they mentioned in the report is the luggage went missing. How can somebody mess up their luggage? They had 15 bags of kitchen equipment that arrived just the day before the game. Talk about not an easy ride. No games being telecast, and this is what we get to know.
Who
Trouble everywhere.
Which airline? Which airline? Is it North Korean airline? Then it makes sense. Otherwise, if you're flying out of South Korea, then there may be a problem. But again, you don't know. This may be because the airline had some trouble, or just regular customs problem, or maybe because North Korea is more vigilant about letting these foreign bags in. There may be some serious counter-revolutionary propaganda hidden behind them. So Bengaluru FC, the capitalist celebration of Indian football, coming in with lots of money, playing North Korean team and winning. Not a good day for them in terms of how they project themselves to the world. But seriously, this is a really good result, and this just sort of tells you how intimidating Bengaluru FC will be in ISL.
Yeah.
They're already getting game time, which already really puts them far ahead of the other teams. They are just going through pre-season now, and they will probably play a couple of friendlies before they get in. Pune City are playing in. By the way, they're playing in Goa, that AWES Cup, and they're reaching. They're doing well, but that's a reserve team. We're probably going to see, even if they do take a few players from that team, it doesn't really look anything like the first team that they have. So it's what an advantage this is. They will be one of the title contenders in ISL. But before that, Istiklol. Yeah. They're going to play Istiklol from Tajikistan. First leg, I think, is away from home.
The first leg is away from home, and that's on the 27th of September, with the return leg being on the 18th of October. That's happening at the Kantirva.
Yeah, and what I don't know if this is a good thing or a bad thing that this is happening in the middle of the FIFA Under-17 World Cup. So there will be some of the spotlight will be missing from this game. But this, again, may be one of the biggest events in Indian football this year. I mean, in senior football. Not counting India taking on Myanmar later on, or maybe some other good friendlies that will happen afterwards. But this is easily one of the biggest games of the season it's going to be. And I hope, I don't really say things like these, and I don't believe in okay, it's a rival club, they're playing in AFC, so you have to support them because it's an Indian club. I think everybody should be able to, make their own decision about that. Either way is fine, but I hope just for the spectacle of it, everybody turns up because they're going to need it. Istiklol are a very popular club. They sell out so many games. They have full gallery all the time. So Bengaluru FC will play the away leg first. So in order to intimidate them back in the second leg, I hope all of Karnataka turns up at least. We need another spectacle like the JDT game at Kantirava in order to hit them on. This is it. This is not the big deal.
Yeah.
I think it will be more historic than almost any other event in Indian club football if Bengaluru FC make it to the final of AFC Cup twice in a row.
Right.
That is hardly anybody saw that coming. Even 4 or 5 years, an Indian club reaching AFC Cup final twice in a row, it wasn't even conceivable. And we're hearing that if Bengaluru FC reach the AFC Cup final, the final will happen in Kantirava.
Wow.
So imagine.
What a treat.
Imagine. Yeah, everybody will have to be there. I mean, I may miss this game, this particular semi-final home leg, because I'll be away at Under-17 World Cup. But that one I'm not going to miss. You can believe me.
Yeah. And also just a quick throw of some facts So Tajikistan, the side from Tajikistan, Istiklol, did win their semi-final on an aggregate of 5-1. We're talking about some goals being scored, and this is a side that you don't want to mess with. And but again, Bengaluru FC has been thrown up challenges, just like April 25th. They were also, on a roll, scoring, as many goals as they would wish to. And this is another side that loves scoring goals. So this is going to be a treat, wherever this is happening. And we will get you updates on the development of the Bengaluru FC side. And just a quick thought on the penalty save by Gurpreet. Could have changed the game.
Oh my goodness, he saved the penalty. So yeah, the Bigfoot is already doing his job. He's showing his big hands. I'm not very sure what would have happened if that penalty could have changed the course of the game. But seriously, you have to praise him. He's played 2 games, 2 against a very difficult opponent, and he's kept 2 clean sheets, including a penalty save. So I don't know, maybe signing of the season it can turn out to be for Bengaluru FC.
The latest and the best, we can say, because they kept it so late and they brought it out so dramatically. Giving them all the benefits that they wanted to. All right. So we will head on to a break, and on the other side of the break, we've got some news about the Palestine friendly, and also about news coming in from Kolkata. This is with regards to the IFA. They are in the news again.
Why do we have so much news coming from Kolkata these days, Kevin?
Kolkata just cannot be out of news. That's the reason.
By the way, just going before going an update, 6-0 win for Mohammedan Sporting over Railway FC.
Yeah.
That was 4 goals from Dika. So CFL is looking good.
Yeah, the CFL is hot and happening. So is Kolkata. We will talk about more on that after the break. Catch you guys.
Hi, I'm May, and I'm a huge fan of the indie music scene in our country. A scene that's relatively underground, even though it sometimes speaks its head overground, but there's no shortage of talent, and I get the privilege of interviewing some of the most awesome musicians on my show. I've had the likes of Euphoria, Krish Kale, Hardcore, Randolph Correa. I've had singer-songwriters, folk singers, electronic music producers, playback singers, rappers, fusion artists, instrumentalists, classical musicians, and so on. Whether mainstream or not, these people have chosen to release their original music, and these are the people currently shaping the direction in which our music scene is heading. Join me on my show every Monday and tune in to discover the unique talent coming out of India today. You can catch Made in India on your favorite podcasting app or our very own IVM podcast app.
Welcome back, guys, after the break. And as we promised, we will be talking about news in Kolkata. And this time again, it's not, good news, I would say, but they are in the news again. This time it's the IFA making statements. These statements really make you feel who's in power, who's in authority. I know, this things throws us out of place when you hear, statements made by the IFA once again. So this is about the merger. Obviously, the FIFA officials are here talking to many clubs in India. So IFA also did have a meeting with them. So Chiranjit, what new have you got from Kolkata?
So yes, let's begin with the things that IFA Secretary Utpal Ganguly said that made sense actually. First, he said that the clubs with heritage and good form and a lot of supporter base should be given some priority in the merged league. And he was talking about East Bengal, Mohun Bagan and Mohammedan Sporting. So IFA wants East Bengal and Mohun Bagan to get into the restructured top division, and eventually Mohammedan Sporting should also come in. So which is okay. This is what you expect the West Bengal Association to say, because they will look out for their own clubs, right? So yeah, good thing to say. Then they said that East Bengal and Mohun Bagan should not be seen as just another franchisee and should be given a respite from that 15 crore franchisee fee that ISL imposes at the time. again, that's what they would say at the table, because you start the negotiation at your most aggressive, and that's how the back and forth begins. So that's what IFA are doing. They are saying we want to pay franchisee fee, and then maybe towards the end they settle at an amount. So that's how that part goes. But then he said to FIFA people, like, these are not AIFF people, by the way. Like, AIFF people were there. Sunanda Dhar was there, I-League CEO. But you had delegates from the continental and the world football body. He told them, if all of this does not work, IFA will start thinking about starting a parallel tournament or league of some sort, that he said. And this is where I lose it. This is where I completely lose the plot. Like, you say bullshit like that to AIFF to show some muscle, like say, okay, no, IFA has been around, IFA still has some power or whatever it is. Okay, people will just sort of say, bol raha hai, bolne do. But you're talking to FIFA. Like, FIFA sanctions rogue state associations which start a rival league. Okay, it doesn't happen that way. It's an offense. You're breaking the rules if you're starting that. Anyway, the idea of a parallel tournament is bullshit. You cannot really start any league and just do it without the AIFF approving it. It would be ridiculous. But seriously, you're just gonna go out and say that to FIFA? And FIFA is already looking at IFA because they have already made that intervention about match fixing in CFL. And we are still not hearing much from IFA about what kind of investigation is happening, right? So already IFA may be close to getting on the shit list of FIFA, and then you go out and say this. This does not help anybody. Okay, everybody wants a unified league. Everybody wants eventually to be a promotion relegation system to be brought in so that the lower league clubs can have a chance to move up. All of that is fine, but making a threat about a parallel tournament just that's where everybody just goes up. They will say this guy is crazy. He's not on a level of reality that is needed to really start the discussion and go somewhere. So I just hope that FIFA disregards that part of whatever he said.
Yeah, I think sense needs to prevail when you're making statements to the World Footballing Governing Body. It's fine, as you said, it's fine. You talk to AIFF because AIFF again is powerless at times and usually governed by external forces. But there's a way to treat somebody who's coming in to try to get clear the mess of the Indian football and start afresh. And you bring about your topic as if somebody is begging you to join the league, and then you put in your demands on top of that. Forgetting.
No one is begging anybody. No, that's the thing. IFA is under this delusion that they have any power here. It's just not there. They're just there for courtesy. They're hosting the AFC and FIFA officials. That's why they're there. The actual discussion is happening between AIFF, IMG Reliance, East Bengal and Mohun Bagan. Okay, these are the people who are talking. I don't know what this guy is doing. Maybe the Kolkata clubs want IFA people to be those, the worst of the worst. Bad, good cop, bad cop. They want IFA to play the bad cop, but it simply doesn't work, man, because what power do they have? And if they are talking about, they say they have a problem with ISL, and I see what problem ISL has caused to the clubs that have been around forever. So many clubs have pulled out of I-League because they saw no future, because all the attention was going towards ISL. And that's what happens when you start a parallel tournament. IMG Reliance did it with permission from AIFF. So, obviously ISL is going to become the new top division. But if you have seen the kind of damage a parallel tournament can do to clubs who have always been there, and at the same time IFA is threatening to do the same by starting a parallel tournament, then you are worse than what IMG Reliance did with ISL.
Yeah.
You're just threatening back. You're trying to improve the situation. You're trying to do some more damage. It's a complete ridiculous thing to even bring that proposal on the table. I don't see why they're doing it.
Yeah, that's strange, the way things are approached. When you have the best part of the solution right in front of you, you're trying to mess up things when there is hope.
They're still thinking they're negotiating with the old AIFA.
Yeah.
They're still stuck in the 1990s when clubs and AIFA would go back and forth and they would have a tussle over power. But AIFA is not the biggest power here right now. IMG Reliance will tell AIFA what to do and AIFA will implement that. So they just, I don't think Utpal Ganguly realizes that equation when he's saying things like this. Just frustrating.
It was a great way to start the show, but then when you hear such things, just makes you wonder: are we heading in the right direction or no? All right.
But seriously, just look at IFA. They're doing so many things so right. Calcutta Football League is having its most popular season ever. Like, I have not seen this kind of popularity over a local league in a long time. Like, Kolkata TV was showing the matches. They had agreed to show a certain number of matches. Now they're saying, can we show more, please? Like, when does a TV channel ask to show more football matches from a local league? And when was the last time a club had to talk to the police to host to sort of control the crowd outside the stadium because so many people are turning up when the tickets were already sold out? And Mohun Bagan had to start a screening outside their stadium because otherwise the people who could not get a ticket were starting clashes with police. So just see this kind of crowd resurgence. Even Mohammedan putting a drawing like 16,000 people to their matches at Barasat. All of these things are going right, and FIFA would laud you for that. And all the good things they're doing with the Salt Lake Stadium, it's looking fantastic, by the way. Javier Seppi and Joy Bhattacharya and other people who have been doing all the supervising all the renovation work with the Calcutta Corporation and other some local politicians who helped out. And IFA also did its part. All those things are doing so right, but just this is where they're just playing with
this is where they go.
This
is where they go and mess it all up. All the good things have gone to a waste by saying such things. Okay, let's. We need to go ahead of this because it's just we're spoiling our mood. We're already on a good mood to know that BFC will be playing in the finals of the Inter-Zonal
finals, the semi-finals of AFC Cup. It's actually a bit, the terms are a bit confusing, They're calling it Inter-Zonal final and then the real final.
Yeah.
They just call it semi-finals to make it easier.
Yeah. So just a quick thought on we've received an update on the Palestine friendly that was taken off from the FIFA friendly fixtures, and Chiranjit, we've got an update on that saying that the game is on, but it might not be an official fixture from the FIFA side.
Yeah, that's what Palestine wants. Yeah. That's not what, from what I understand, that's not what AIFA wants, because the match was set up as a face-off between two teams who are fighting for the same pot in the Asian Cup draws. Okay, so if India keep playing other teams and they beat, let's say they beat Myanmar and Macau at home, they will be in a good position ranking-wise. And Palestine would be very close to them in the ranking. So there is a tussle going on between India and Palestine over who's going to get the better rank when the Asian Cup draw of lots comes around. And Palestine it seems like Palestine don't want to play an official international friendly match against India because they don't want that to be decided just there, because then if these two teams play against each other, whoever wins will have a huge advantage in terms of getting the better ranking, right? So if Palestine want to safeguard themselves from that and want to play an unofficial friendly, then India may not agree, right? So if that is what is gonna happen if that's what they insist on. Right now, the friendly is still removed from the calendar. It may still happen. It may still happen on a different date other than 2nd October. But if Palestine want to do an unofficial friendly, India may not agree with it. So let's just see how that pans out.
Yeah. All right. Also, news coming in from Northeast United FC. They've already declared the entire foreigner squad, in one go.
Yeah.
So that's what they did a couple of days back. They've announced all the 8 foreigners in the squad.
All the Northeast teams are doing like this. ISL FC announced 6 foreigners in one tweet. And Shillong Lajong were like one after the other. Every 20-30 minutes they were announcing one signing after the other. And now Northeast United were like, you guys will do 6? Okay, we'll do 8 at once. So
great trend that is followed over there. Just a quick go through on the list that they have. Luis Paez, who's a striker from Colombia. Marcino, who's an attacking midfielder from Brazil. Jose Gonçalves, who's got a dual passport of Switzerland and Portugal, who's a central defender. Oder Fortes, he comes from Cape Verde, he's a winger. Sabina, it comes from the country called Guinea-Bissau, he's a defender. Adilson from Brazil is a midfielder. Wellington da Silva, again a Brazilian, he's a striker. And the final defender from Uruguay is Martin Pena. So that's the quota that's already filled up, and we'll have to wait for the Indian signings if they would want to get in the squad. And that was it for today's episode from the Indian Football Podcast. If you're listening to us on YouTube, do not forget to like, share, subscribe. The podcast is also available on various podcasting apps like SoundCloud, iTunes, etc. IVM Podcast app is another app that you can download from Android and iOS to catch many other shows just like TFG. Till another episode, guys. Bye.
That was Tantrik Steve from Hansraj College, Delhi, performing at IIT Bombay's Mood Indigo. Just like them, there's a lot of new talent and art coming out of colleges all across India, but unfortunately most of this goes completely unnoticed or ignored. To fix this, we started ATKT.in. Hi, I'm Ankur, I'm a musician and a rapper, and I found that one of the best things about being an artist myself is finding new talent. Through ATKT.in, Tanya, my colleague who's a dancer, and our whole team really is putting all of our efforts into discovering and promoting all the coolest talent that's coming out of colleges all across India. And this goes up on our website, our social media, TV, radio, and now, of course, this podcast with IVM. Make sure you go to our website, support the talent with your likes, your shares, your comments. All of that really matters. Go ahead, check it out. ATKT.in.
एक्सक्यूज मी भैया, एक्सक्यूज मी.
बोलिए मैडम.
मेन्यू में क्या है?
मेन्यू में सीन अनसीन है, पॉडकास्ट है, ऑन कोर्स है, साइरस है, मेड इन इंडिया, रीडिस्कवरी प्रोजेक्ट, एम्पावरिंग सीरीज, सेक्स वैक्स है, IVM लाइक्स है, सिंप्लीफाइड है, कीपिंग इट क्वियर है, थिंग्स एंड डेस्टिनेशंस है, माय नेबर सकरबर्ग है और द फन गराज है. आपको क्या चाहिए?
एक बार रिपीट कर देंगे क्या?
रिपीट नहीं करता हम. आप जाओ IVMpodcast.com पे और सुनो ये सब, या फिर डाउनलोड करो उनका ऐप. सब आपकी उंगलियों पे.